welcome back to Daily Chit-Chat with Gavin and Kate. Grab your tea, get comfy, and today we're talking about something super simple but surprisingly fun: how to talk about your weekend.
It's funny, this is one of the easiest and most natural ways to start a conversation, but people often feel a little awkward about it.
Right, and sometimes weekends are exciting, and sometimes you literally do nothing.
Which is honestly my favorite kind of weekend.
Same. Okay, let's hop into it.
Okay, Kate, real question. How was your weekend?
It was actually really nice. Nothing dramatic happened, which is perfect for me. I slept in, had a slow breakfast, and then I went for a long walk by the river.
Ah, yes, your romantic main character walk.
Absolutely. I had my headphones on, pretending I'm in a music video. Classic weekend energy.
What music video, though? More like girl trying not to drop her phone into the river.
Accurate, very accurate.
My weekend was good. I finally cleaned the kitchen.
That's a win. A clean kitchen changes your entire personality.
It really does. I was suddenly polite and productive and drinking water like a responsible adult.
Amazing. So you had a reset weekend.
Yeah, a low-key reset. Nothing big, nothing special, but it felt good.
I love how we always imagine our weekend will be huge. Like we'll wake up early, go to a cafe, maybe climb a mountain,
Write a novel,
start a garden.
learn French.
Exactly. But the weekend we actually have is like wake up late, scroll for an hour, stretch a little, eat something random,
And certainly it's Sunday night.
and you have no idea what happened.
But honestly, those are the best weekends. The calm ones, the nothing special ones.
I think that's why weekend conversations are so simple. You don't need a big story. Just, I relaxed, I rested, I did nothing. All of that is normal and totally fine.
Okay, let's do a little pretend scenario. You meet a coworker on Monday morning. They ask,
So, how was your weekend?
and your weekend was literally nothing. You watched a show, ate leftovers, stayed on your sofa.
How do you answer without sounding boring?
Easy. You smile and say, pretty chill actually. I had a quiet weekend and just relaxed at home.
Exactly. Simple, honest, and cute. And usually the other person says,
Nice. That sounds good actually.
because everyone secretly wants a quiet weekend.
It's the universal dream.
Now, pretend you went out a little. Maybe you saw friends or tried a new restaurant or went shopping. Nothing crazy, just a normal human weekend.
I love a normal human weekend.
Same. So when someone asks, you can say something like, I met up with a friend and we tried a new cafe. Or, I went into town and did a little shopping.
Or my version, I bought snacks I didn't need
That's every weekend for you.
and I have no regrets.
I like talking about weekends in tiny highlights, just little moments.
Yeah, not the whole weekend, just the part that felt nice. Like, I made a really good breakfast. I took a long nap. I watched the movie I loved.
Or I had the best iced coffee of my life. I finally washed my hair. I got sunshine for the first time in a week.
These little things make weekend conversations feel personal and friendly. You know what I also love? When someone tells you a very tiny, random detail from their weekend. Something that sounds boring, but actually feels really charming.
Oh, yes. Like when someone says, I found a new snack I love, or I reorganized my bookshelf, or my plant grew a new leaf.
The plant one is definitely you.
I'm a proud plant mom. I celebrate every leaf like it's a graduation ceremony.
But seriously, those random little details are so human. They make the conversation feel warm, not formal.
Exactly. You don't need a story. You just need a moment. Something simple like, I had a really good nap. I cooked something new. I found a funny video and laughed way too hard.
Or, I finally wore that sweater I bought 2 months ago. Honestly, weekend wins can be very small.
This is why weekend conversations are so easy. The bar is extremely low.
Super low. If you ate something nice, that's content. If you slept well, that's content. If you went outside for 5 minutes, that's content.
Speaking of eating something nice, did you cook anything this weekend?
I attempted to. I made pasta, but I forgot the salt. Completely forgot.
Oh no.
It tasted like water with texture.
That's tragic. That's a crime.
I know. But then I added cheese and suddenly it was fine. Cheese fixes everything.
That's also a universal truth.
So if someone asks me about my weekend, I could say, I cooked something, it didn't go well, but it was funny. People love stories like that. Little weekend fails that are harmless and relatable.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, the imperfect ones are better.
Speaking of imperfect, I also tried to clean my room and ended up just sitting on the floor scrolling my phone for 45 minutes.
That is the most realistic weekend activity I've ever heard.
I think everyone has experienced that moment where you're cleaning, but actually you're just holding an old shoe and staring at the wall.
Yes, and you suddenly forget what you were doing.
So that's another thing you can say in conversation. I tried to be productive, but it didn't really happen. It's funny, it's honest, and it's friendly.
And it invites the other person to share too, because everyone has a weekend where nothing goes to plan.
Or weekends where you have a tiny personal victory, like finishing a book you've been reading forever.
Or buying groceries for the week without forgetting anything.
That's not a weekend highlight. That's a miracle.
True, but even that simple thing can be something to talk about. I finally got my life together for 5 minutes.
Weekend conversations don't need big energy, just real energy.
Exactly. A weekend is a whole 48 hours. There's always something you can talk about. A small success, a silly moment, a peaceful hour, a good meal, a long walk, a nap that changed your personality.
Or a nap that ruined your sleep schedule.
Also true.
So when someone asks you about your weekend, you don't need a big story. You just need one small detail that felt good, funny, peaceful, or just, well, human.
Okay, now what about a weekend that wasn't great?
Ah, yes. The nothing dramatic but slightly annoying weekend.
Like laundry didn't dry. Or you tried to rest, but your brain said no. Or you dropped your soup on the floor.
That actually happened to me last week.
Wait, you dropped soup?
Whole bowl. On my socks.
Wow, tragic.
Thank you for your empathy.
So if someone asks how your weekend was, you can keep it light. It was okay, but a bit busy. Or not the best, but I survived.
Perfect. Honest, but not too dramatic.
Weekend conversations are two-way, so you can ask back. How about you? What did you get up to? Did you do anything fun?
And 90% of the time, they'll say, nothing much.
The universal Monday answer.
And honestly, it's comforting. We're all just trying to survive the week, enjoy the weekend, and pretend we're more organized than we actually are.
Exactly. And that's why talking about weekends is so easy. It's the most normal conversation topic in the world.
All right, that's today's Daily Chit-Chat. Thanks for hanging out with us.
And we'd love to know, how was your weekend? Tell us in the comments, even if you did nothing, especially if you did nothing.
We'll see you next time on Daily Chit-Chat for another cozy, easy English conversation. Bye, everyone.
See you then.